Hello everybody and welcome to today's live. I'm just trying to get my photo to come up. Hi Chrissy, just running a little bit late as I've been over at another live video. So today I'm going to be doing this perspective painting where you've got this, it's like an alcove with these arches in it. Hey Madonna, nice to see you. I would imagine it's somewhere in Italy or something like that. And across the road, there's another building that's got similar kinds of arches. And it's just an exercise in perspective, really. And the arches go back as they do. Although arches from round about here onwards are slightly different arches. Hey, Goswina. Welcome. I'm just going through the painting, generally speaking. So, yeah, it's a watercolour. I'm going to use my sennelier paints today. This paper is Hahnemuhle 300 grams paper. That's £140 for you guys in America. What else can I say? Brushes, usual suspects. It's always good to like try and get a group of brushes that you're really familiar with. Hi Anthony. Hi Gail. And try and use them and get really familiar with them. So that's what I tend to do. It's very rare that I stray away from these brushes, and it's a lot cheaper to just go out and buy specific brushes that do a job. So I mean, the only time I variate from this is if I'm doing larger scale work, and obviously I'd go up to something like that instead of that, or the hake brush. That would be a bigger brush. So that's really one of the best ways to keep it nice and cheap. Just get the good brushes that you know you want to use and stick with them. So to start with, I'm going to use, you always try and start with big brush first and get smaller and smaller as you get further down the painting, as it were. So I'm just going to move that out of the way and just move a few bits and bobs so that you right. So let's get an overall colour and some various colours in there. So obviously what I normally do is you guys who've watched me on a few occasions, you know, I tend to go for the sky first. So yeah, let's get the sky done. So I'm going to try and carefully work around that area there. And then we've got another bit of sky there. And maybe a little bit, and that's it. That's all we've got. Now while I've got that blue out, I'm going to add a little bit of turquoise to it, because one of my buildings is going to be that kind of colour, and it's going to be that one there. So I'm just going to, just the top part of it, because the architecture of these kinds of buildings, they tend to go for like half the building is one colour and other part of it is a different colour. So I don't know, let's go crazy colours. So that half of that, I'm going to make that like a greeny colour, and just for the sake of it, a little bit of colour there. Now the rest of this, I'm going to see if I can pick up and get like a light colour. Hey Paul! Hey Lisa, nice to see you here. I'm going to see if I can make a creamy colour if I possibly can. So I've got some yellow and I've got some brown, and it's making like a creamy colour, and that's going to go all the way across there. It don't matter about covering over those people there, a little bit there as well. And continuing on with that idea, I'm just going to make it slightly darker, and this area here. There you go. So one more area that I've not done yet, and this is going to be fairly consistent, this area. It's going to be like a browny colour. Let's see if we can encourage that to try and keep that pillar light to blend into that, and doing the same there as well to get a bit more definition of colour there, and some more. There we go. Nice to see you all here, everybody. Now the next thing to have a go at is the inside of this alcove here, and that's got like a pinky cream colour, so I'm going to try and create that, and just there we go. And then we get to there, and it's like I say, it's a different set of arches, so it needs to be checked differently, that. So we're starting to get on quite nicely. Hey Gracie. Yes, I know, Gracie. I'll be having words with you about it. Hey Purple Paisley Planet. And ID 990 Bell. So I've got quite a bit done now with this brush. I'm just going to put a bit of colour there, and even darker. I'm going to around there, and these are slightly darker, like that. And inside here, because it's an alcove on the inside, that is also going to be fairly dark. And again, same there. Right, so make that a little bit darker. Light is coming from this direction, so everything at this side is going to have a dark feel to it, but that will come later on in the painting, most of it. Now let's put this to one side because it's getting to the stage where it's a little bit hard to handle such small areas. So the next thing we're going to do is the pillars. Get some, and they are a very, well, what they call a Venetian red. So that's easily done. Now I'm going to the left hand side, I'm going to leave that. In fact, actually first what I'll do is do a very watered down version. Like that. Right at the front of every one of those. The ones that you can see the front of anyway. You can't, as you get further down into perspective, it concertinas in and you don't see all the details. So next we'll go like that. And then even darker. Like that. And we'll do exactly the same with those as well. So bit down the centre and then going in with that darker. And again, it's just there's going to be a lot less detailing as you get further back, and to the point that when you get to about here, it's almost as though it's one thing. Like that. We go. Yeah, and then this area here, it's very weird. It's like it is archway, but you can't see anything really. It's like it's almost as though they've done it in brickwork rather than actual proper columns. So it has I'm just going to do it in very abstract expression, that area. Now what we do need to do is mix some of that, what we've got there, that red, with a light blue, and that will give us a perfect colour for a shadow, like that. And there's some bollards or whatever there. They have a little shadow, should I say. And I'm going to paint in this, but we've not painted the detail of, there's some people there that I'll, before I forget, and while we've still got this nice colour for painting, I'll put that in there. That's their shadow. And again, as you start going back, it literally just becomes like every so often. And let's get some of that dark again, emphasising that. Some more up here. Any questions, anybody? Just one more thing I need to do. It has like a decorative edge there, and that then it's like that, and exactly the same there. Can't really see it there now. So we've also got this area up here to do some side, like a rooftop kind of thing. Get some red in there. It's like blibbing and blobbing, really. Get some more dark in there. And define, we've got to like define edges. Really important to get these edges all well defined. Let's see if we can start putting some people in. I know it's early stages, but oops, made a mess of that one. See if we can go to a smaller brush. This one here, I'm going to things like these, you know, people are going to be fairly silhouetted. They might have a bit of colour in them, but trying to well, I think I need to remove a little bit of that on that one because it's making it look very large. So when you're doing stuff like that, you just that's a lot better. And, I'm faffing about with details at this stage in process. What am I thinking? But they are important parts of the painting. These, if these little people weren't in the painting itself, it would it'd lack a sense of scale. So it's important that we have some idea of scale. So we've got these I don't know what they call these. I don't know the finials or whatever. I'm not going to be going in overly detailed. They are interesting, but they're mainly white, so there's just little bits of light catching it and bits of shadow following over it. And that's the nearest one. So again, we'll continue doing that, but again, it's just like squiggling. That's it. That's all I'm going to do for that. The other one, and then going even further back, it's the dots and blobs until you get to the point where they're not even seen at all, and that will give you a sense of depth and distance. In fact, in this one, I'm just going to make it so that there is a little bit more detail in it, so it differentiates itself from that. So another thing that we've got to do now is we've got some people here and we've got people there, and once that's done, that's the watercolour basically filled in to the degree that we need it to be. So I've got a young lady there, and then there's another one there. That's there, and then what colour are we going to do them? Never know. Let's see if we can do a nice blue. Let that leak in a little bit. And the other one, and give her like a white t-shirt kind of thing, and this bit here will be red. Let's try to stop that before it gets any worse. That's what happens when you work too rapidly. I'm saying that can be something that you can take advantage of, but these also will have shadows, so we're gonna won't see very much of it, but here you go. So we've got that mostly blocked in. Another thing we have got to do that I've neglected, just try to get like a neutrally colour at the bottom of the columns. And again, that's going to go like that to where that is. There's like a greying of it like that. And I'll do exactly the same there. Can't really see it there. And again, this is an opportunity to make that darker. Around there, I'm going to like give the idea that there's something there. So we've made that dark, but we've left a bit of a space. And See if we can get some other details in at the moment. An area that we need to continue to look at is round here. I'm just going to avoid hitting that person there. And just looking for bits that we can. They're only very delicate things, but they do make, in this kind of painting, they do make a lot of difference in the believability. My dear pork chop. Oh, very good. So, right, let's move on a little bit. We've got some windows here, and all I'm going to do with that is they've got some bits of decoration on them, but we can make some really nice stuff like that. There's another window that's in line with that, and I've obviously missed out a bit there. So what I'm going to have to do is, there you go, job sorted. And give it a lot more definition. It's important to build this up steadily, because if you try doing it all in, in one go, one, it won't work, and two, if you try putting wet onto wet, it'll just mush it all up. So let's we've done enough detail for now. Let's go back to getting some really nice tones into the picture. So make sure that we're that side. And again, same kind of thing. Right. And hopefully it's starting to build up a little bit. These little pillars, whatever they are, they're white, but they can't be white at this side. So there's something there, but we will put some darker element in there later. Maybe that's a bit too dark, but let's go for it. Right. I'm going to soften this line up a little bit so there's a nice graduation. Right, like a rod that goes like that. I'm going to bring it up like that. That helps with the sense of scale, this, whatever it is, a rope or whatever. We've got this again that's like another like decorative rope or whatever it is. A bit of blue and a bit of brown. I need to paint these two people in here, which I've not done yet. It's always it. I'm gonna do his top in dark blue. And then his lady friend, who is directly behind him. She's got a nice red skirt on. And to match a red skirt. And that'll do for now. And we're going to start thinking about what we're going to do for detailing. So I've got this that I made, and I'm going to remember light is coming from this direction. So this building is going to be casting a certain amount of shadow, and I'm going to take it to about halfway across the road, and I'm just going to literally go like that. Don't forget the mask. You know what that means. Have you checked your thing to see whether it's arrived yet, Paul? Keep checking. And that, right. The two bits that I've neglected. There's a semblance of a window there, and some sort of decorative bit to the roof. These buildings do have an awful lot of architectural decoration on them, but you don't have to keep painting every little bit of it. So again, on top of that, we're gonna get some green and a bit of purpley colour, a bit more purpley colour. Let's see if we can get some actual water in amongst this. And, don't seem to want to. There we go. That's a nice deep dark colour. Now I've got another bit that I've neglecting. I don't know if that's the right colour. There you go. And it's starting to take shape. Really, most of what's left to do now is detailing. There's a very fine detailed stuff like the balustrade here, and because they have these like decorative things, don't they? And a bit of fine tuning here and there. And yet again, something else that I've forgot to do. There's a little chimney up there. There you go. And there would be, because that's a raised bit on the roof, there'd be a shadow there. And let's do a few bits there. Some more detailing. And this is where I really speed up, because I don't want to be slowing down at this stage, because you can get bogged down in just producing tons and tons of detail, and that ain't always a good thing. It is in some types of painting, but not necessarily a good thing in watercolour. It's a definition. I don't think I'm that far off completion with this. There is one thing I have got to do. At this point here, there's a cable coming down here, and it's connecting to some kind of lamp. I'm not going to go into full detail with it. I don't want it to take over the picture. And down here, a bit further down, there's a similar situation. You can't see the details on that one. And it kind of like gives some type of continuity, right? And a sense of scale. So let's just complete that there. Some sort of rod or something like that. And every so often there is one. Just looking at various bits, bringing that around there. Darken some of this area. Join various bits up. And you know what, I think that's this painting done. Just for a short demo based painting. I don't think I'd do anything more to it at the moment. What bring that down a bit. There you go. Yeah, I think that's it done. So I hope you've been able to gain something from this particular painting. What we've looked at is it's perspective, and it's also light. I can see something that I've not completely finished yet, so I will. Like that. We've kept it loose, even though it's like an architectural subject. We've still managed to keep it nice and flowy and loose. Lots of highlight colours like that, even though that's not a primary part of the painting. It's a splash of colour in an area that could be very dull if you're not careful, and strong colour there and bits of strong colour there. So it's about placement of strong colour, this painting. So I really hope that you've enjoyed this. I do this every Tuesday at 6 p.m. UK time. So thank you for being here, and we'll see you again next week on Ian Tuesday. And if you haven't had enough of me yet, you'll also see me on Ian Friday on Diane's channel, where we have a bit of fun and we do a bit of painting. So, and I'd like to thank you all, especially my helpers in the chat and mods. Thank you for being here and keeping it a safe environment. So see you later all, and take care. Bye.